Okay, so in this video, we're going to learn how to use the Sentinel HART to configure the ID address of the HART sensor to 1, and how to use the sensor on time in order to be able to get efficient data from your sensor. So the first thing you want to do is go to the Signal Fire Toolkit. Now, always click refresh over here just to let the toolkit know the latest connections to your COM ports. And you want to click on auto detect. So you want to select the COM port that you have connected to the Sentinel HART. In my case, it's COM port 6. It's the only one that's connected. And you want to click auto detect device on COM port. So I was able to pick it up. So now we have the configuration window of the Sentinel HART. So as you can see under reported HART values, this table is showing unknown values. So even if I click update reported HART values, it'll still show unknown. Well, why is this? Well, it's because the sensor that I'm connected to isn't set to HART ID 1 yet. So here's how you would do that. You would go to Tools, click on HART Sensor Configuration. You want to go ahead and click Scan. So now what the Sentinel HART will do is that, because in my configuration I've connected it so that I'm using the Sentinel HART's power supply to power up the Sentinel, it can actually turn on the sensor and it'll scan, and as you saw, when I click scan, it'll find the HART ID of the sensor. So it's found HART ID 3. So I want to set it from 3 to 1. Click set. Okay. And now, if I were to click on update reported sensor and HART values, you can see that I am now reading HART data. Now, in my configuration, I have sensor always on checked off, and this is just for testing purposes. In a real application, you don't want to have that checked off if you're using a battery. That'll drain it out very, very quickly. What you'd want to do is you'd want to uncheck this, and you'd want to give the sensor on time a given amount of time in seconds. So for example, if I set it to 15 seconds, and then I go and click on set right here, and my check-in interval now is, as you can see, is 15 seconds here, and my sensor on time is 15 seconds. And what that essentially means is that every 15 seconds, I'm telling the Sentinel HART, every 15 seconds, power up the sensor and keep it on for 15 seconds so that I can collect data from it. And then after those 15 seconds, power down the sensor, and then the radio will fall back asleep. And this is our way of trying to conserve battery life. Again, if in your application you're using a battery for your Sentinel. So that's essentially what it means. That's how you would configure the Sentinel HART so that you can, A, configure the sensor ID to 1, because you need to, if you don't have it set to 1, then you won't be able to read HART data. It has to be set to 1 so that you could use multi-drop mode and efficiently read HART data. And B, configure the sensor on time so that way it's related to the check-in interval, where every given check-in interval, the Sentinel HART will turn on the sensor for every given sensor on time that I've programmed it to have.